This is Grandmaster Neutron here, and today I just wanted to say that I know that we haven't been recording much, and right now I'm going to try to work hard to change that. Uh, it's just with school and a whole bunch of other stuff, we haven't been really had time to get to it, but again, like I said, we're going to be working on that. But for now, this is like a different type of video than we usually do. This is my first pre-release Magic the Gathering experience with Aether Revolt. So I guess we're just gonna jump into this. So what I felt anew coming in, I didn't really know anything about the new sets like energy or anything like that or the vehicles. The last time I played standard Magic was in Kontatar, Theros, and like Fate Reforged and all those sets. The last deck I played on like Friday Night Magics was like CDC Whip and then Esper Dragons after the deck rotated out and kind of got killed. And the reason why I haven't been really playing the standard Magic was because my deck unfortunately got stolen at a tournament, and I like drained so much money into it because at the time like Dragon Lord Chai was like $40 or something crazy like that. And after I lost that deck, I just kind of fell crust and went straight to EDH because I didn't have to worry about like my cards rotating out, and I can like purchase stuff and not feel pressured about it. So with this, I didn't know anything about. Back on track. I didn't know anything about the new Aether Revolt cards. I didn't know about Kaladesh or anything like that. So I kind of went in blind. Um, this was again, this is my first pre-release, so I didn't even know how this really worked until my friend explained it to me. So I was kind of nervous, but he said just have fun, which really calmed my nerves. So that's how I felt. And then my deck construction, I had 14 creatures, 11 spells, 8 forests, 7 plains, which that ended up to 15 lands. So I'll just go with how I constructed my deck. So first I had two Noram Renegades. These guys like helped me so much in the early game. I didn't have to worry about like early aggro. I didn't even really use it for Revolt that much. Like I didn't really use her Revolt trigger. She was just good as a 1/2 Death Touch creature against like certain cards that like had aggro or some of the blue cards that I didn't really know about. So that was really good in some matchups. So I think this card's gonna be good in standard. But then again, I don't know much about it. And then here are my two drops. Long Tusk Cub. Long Tusk Cub was really, really good because you can get him out turn two. You can get a +1/+1 from other energy counters, so you can have like a 3/3 turn two, and then you could this card is just only going to get bigger, bigger. Because they have to answer him, or you're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and or destroying your creatures, which is really good. 3/1, 2 mana, can't be blocked by artifact creatures. That provided a lot of pressure for me in the games, and of course it was gonna die early, but it was with noble cause, so it always traded 1 for 1 or provided some early damage early game. Kajor Seed Sculptor was really good as well because 1/2 for 2 mana to put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. That's pretty good. So if you have like Long Tusk out, give him a +1/+1 counter. It's a 3/3 4/4 cub. And then if you got any energy counters, that could be a 5/5 cub like turn three, and he's just gonna keep getting bigger. And then Greenwell Liberator, his his 2/2 counters with his revolt is ridiculous. Sadly, I didn't really get it out. I think I only like did this thing like once with a that mana fixing land. I don't remember the name. We'll get to it, but that really like provided early pressure for me. Now, oh, oops. Now, Fairgrounds Warden was the MVP. He helped me in so many scenarios where like they had a creature that I didn't deal with. I top this dude like I think in round two that saved me the game. So or game round two, game two. This guy like won me the game. It was so good. And then Night Market Guard. He is also really good because you can get 2 for 1s by just having him out early, and you can provide early pressure with that 3/1. So he can 2 for 1 with the blocks, and uh, and just provide early pressure. Just a great card for the pre-release. Here are my 4 drops. I have Console Shield Guard, Aether Inspector, and Crackdown Construct. Now, uh, Shield Guard was really, really good because when you're able to have 4 defense and then give your uh, freaking lion, your cub, indestructible, and he's like a 6/6, they're gonna have to block in and like they can't counter with it because there's some cards in red where like you can deal damage to a creature and then the player, or some green cards that will buff other creatures. You don't have to worry about that because this guy gives any creature you want indestructible for 1 energy, and you're with all the energy you're gonna get with energy cards you're running. It's pretty good. And then Aether Inspector with Vigilance and 2 energy counters when she comes out is pretty good. Vigilance good, and then her ability to make Thopters, or not Thopters, Sevo artifacts is pretty good. And then Crackdown Construct, I'm gonna admit, was garbage. I did not have success with this card. At first, I thought it was just put a 1/1 counter on him, but it's 1/1 until end of turn. So I would have rather ran like that rabbit card that's just 2/1/1s and you can like transfer it. So I didn't really have success with Crackdown Construct. I think I got him to a 3/3 like once in all the games I played. So wouldn't recommend that card. Now Dawnfather Eagle for the 5 drop and Aurora Express saved me a couple games and helped me just like close it out. Like Dawnfeather Eagle really helps with the blue flying creatures. I don't remember what their names were, but just any flying you can deal with, and then it gives you like a nice spike with the +1/+1s to all your creatures. So you drop this turn 5, and then you just swing all, and they either are gonna block or take a whole bunch of damage. And then with the eagle, it can block most of any creatures, or will take 2 for 1, which not 2 for 1, just 2 for 0. So it's pretty good. And then the Express. Uh, I'll explain what I did later, but it's not really that good. But the Menace is really good, and if you have tokens like you can generate with this deck, it's just his crew is pretty easy to get, and you can swing for a lot of damage. I ran it mainly for the Menace. And then for the spells, we had Attune with Aether and Unbrittle Growth. So I liked the Attune with Aether because you search your basic land, it thins out your deck, and then you get energy counters for it. And with Unbrittled Growth, it's basically mana fix early game and then draw just later into the game. So it's pretty good. I only ran. Oh, by the way, with the I forgot I mentioned multiples. This is one of my multiples, and I also ran multiples of the first card, Narnan Renegade, the 1/2 Death Touch. That's the only 2 multiples I had. I had 2 of each. Now, natural is really, really good. You know, no. You say no to anything. N-O. No. You don't like cards. You put them to the bottom of the library, which is good because I don't know if there's like any mechanic to work with your graveyard, but I always like to just putting it to the bottom of your library. You just feel safer that way, and you can like put down like powerful ships to the bottom. Like there's this one ship that like dealt 3 damage, and then it's like flying. It's just crazy, and it helped me so much in those games. Revoke privileges now. Like you saw, you always want like some sort of removal or some way to disable your opponent's creatures, because without that they will overwhelm you. So Revoke Privileges was a very great card. Helped me in a lot of situations. So, and then these were all my spells that like helped me buff my creatures: Built to Last, Larger Than Life, High Spire, Infusion, Inventor Goggles. Now, I'm not sure if I should just run 2 High Spire Infusions and then just take out the Larger Than Life. You can like send me a comment below what I should have done, but I don't know. I kind of like Larger Than Life because in a situation where they just don't have a board, you can kill them faster, or if they just have like a trump blocker, it's like easier to get over them if you only have one creature out. Or if they don't block, you're just gonna hit them for like a huge amount of damage. But I don't know. I really liked Larger Than Life. High Spire Infusion was a great card. Say it helped me when they were trying to burn my stuff, uh, or just like trying to burn my stuff while I attacked, or just use their own like Built to Last or stuff like that. So that was really good. Also gives you energy, not a bad card. Built to Last, indestructible if it's an artifact creature. I didn't really get the indestructible proc that much, but Oh, and then Inventor's Goggles was pretty good too. I liked it for the 2 defense, so I was able to give that to my 3/1, and I felt like safer like attacking with him because he was like a 4/3. It's pretty good. Just things to buff your creatures into the mid to late game, finish out games. And then these were my uh just spicy cards that I ran. I my promo was actually Sram's Expertise, which I was really happy about. I highly recommend this card if you're running white. It's so good because 4 mana, 3 colors tokens, and you get to play a 3 mana from your hand. That is pretty good. Uh, Constellant Turret. I mean, it's just there. It gives you energy counters. I don't know if I would run this card. It was okay. And then Call for Unity. It helped me like one game, but I don't know for its mana cost if it's really worth it, and if games are really gonna last to where you're gonna get like 3 Unity counters on it. So I don't know about that. But that's the deck construction. Now, how I did. Well, I got first place. My first ever Magic the Gathering pre-release, I got first place. I don't know how. I didn't know anything about the cards. I didn't know what the cards did. I kind of just read them. And when I was going in, I knew I was going to make an aggro, sort of aggro deck. With random cards, you're not going to make a really good mid-range or control deck. You're just going to have to go for full aggro and overwhelm the board. And that's exactly what I did. Like, all of my games. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just summoned creatures, destroyed theirs. It was a pretty simple game. Just managing your cards, seeing how many cards your opponent had in your hand, playing off that. And the deck, I gotta say, was very consistent. Like, there was only one time where I had a mull because I had one land. I didn't really feel comfortable with that, but otherwise, I never had mana problems. So I was just straight up doing pretty good. Now, some matchups. I'll just tell you about. There was 4 rounds, and first round, first game in the first round, I was at 1 life. They were playing this one card is like when he attacks, he had mana, so it was 1/3 for like 2 mana, I think, and then he summons like a monkey that's attacking you, that's exiled at the end of the turn. That was just like whittling me down, and then in the mid game, he played like these cards that like took control of my creatures, gave it haste, and was able to play it, uh, like a converted mana cost of 2 for free or 3 for free. I don't remember, but all I know is I was taking a lot of damage. And first game, I had the 8/6 vehicle with 5 mana, crew 4, and then I was at 1 health left. He was at like 12. I top decked the card that able you to make tokens and play a 3 mana card for free. So I was able to crew in those tokens and then one other creature. Cast a buff spells, the 3/3 give 2 energy, and then cast another one and one shot him for like 14. It was so great. And then game 2, I kind of just stomped him. And then round 2, it was pretty much free. I just kind of out tempoed him through the entire game with like the removal. Like I said, removal really really important. And then game 3, he first game he kept a 1 land hand because he molded again to 6, and then again just out tempoed him. Game 2 was a little harder, but I still won it. And then at first we only thought there was 3 rounds, so but there was 2 undefeated players, and so he just decided to make a fourth round for everybody. And the fourth round, first game was really close. He was playing fourth round was, oh my god, it was cancer. He was playing blue green, and he was based around like spells and like these creatures that had prowess and flying. He had a really good deck. First game I won. Second game was my first loss. He beat me pretty badly. I drew lands like 4 turns in a row. And then third game, it was so close, but again I just out tempoed him. Like I was just able to out tempo with so many opponents with like removal, giving them buffs, stacking the board slowly until giving 1/1 counters, creating tokens. Just so many things you can do to out tempo your opponent. And so that's how it ended up. Went out of the 4 rounds, I went 8-1. So first place, I was really happy about that. So the packs that I pulled, I got 5 rewarding packs, and these were the main cards I got. I got some other value cards that were like $3, $2. I don't really remember them. But I pulled a Black Vice, the $35 one. It's like the foil. It's all pretty. It's pretty good. I pulled a Heart of Kieran. It's like $20, I think. And then David Boat was like $4. You have to include them. I actually don't know what these cards did. I read them yesterday, but I forgot. I'll read them right now. Black Vice instead of. Okay, let me just read this. As Black Vice enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. At the beginning of the chosen player's upkeep, Black Vice deals X damage to that player, where X is the number of cards in his hand minus 4. Oh my gosh. I think that's pretty good. Like, and like you can play that out against like a control person that has like 16 cards in their deck when they have like infinite hand size. And you really have to limit their play. So that's pretty good. I like that. Heart of Kiron, Flying Vigilance, Crew 3, 4/4 for 2. You may remove a loyalty counter for replacement. Oh. So you can remove a loyalty counter from a Planeswalker too. So that's like a. If you play this, you can have like a 2/2 Flying Vigilance. No. 2 mana, 4/4 Flying Vigilance. Turn 2 if you have a Planeswalker out, which. Honestly, you're probably not going to have a Planeswalker and this card out, but it's pretty good 2 mana, 4/4, and play other things in the mid game. So. And then Dovin Bond. Until your next turn, up to one target creature gets -3/-0 if it's activated, and its activated ability can't be activated. Hey, that's pretty good actually. So that means like, uh, I don't know if no, you couldn't target because vehicles aren't creatures, but there's like probably there's a lot of creatures out there that would activate their abilities, and they gain 2 life, draw a card. That's obviously not bad. And then his emblem, your opponents can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untapped steps. If you ult, that's probably over. Overall experience, I had a really nice time. Beforehand, we had pizza. I had um, pizza and breadsticks. I was with 3 other friends. I had someone to talk to the whole time, just enjoying games, watching other people's games. The community was great. I was like in a smaller community. I think there was like 16 players or something like that. And a lot of people, like 4 people ended up dropping because I guess they just wanted the big pack or whatever. But I had a really nice time the whole time. I was never really bored. And I was so glad I got first place. Summary: went in, didn't know anything, built a deck, uh, almost went undefeated, got first place. The packs that I got more than my money back for what I got for the pre-release. So overall, it was a nice experience. If you stayed through this whole thing, then thank you. If you like this video, hit that like button, really helps. Subscribe if you're new. But until next time, see you guys.